Hey guys, welcome back to Michelle Crochet. I'm Bree, and today we're going to talk about how many balls I finished off, and I would like some advice from you about crochet hooks. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As I just said, I'm going to talk about my ball bands and how many balls I finished off. Now, I say how many balls I finished off versus how many, balls of yarn I use. Because I don't collect just like the ball bands for like full skeins. I'm collecting all the ball bands. Like if I finish the ball off, I finish the skein, I collect the ball band and it goes into my box here. Now, I've been using this box for a couple years. I'm not sponsored or anything, haha. But this box is just perfect. Now, I like this box because you just can fold up your ball band and it's got these little handles on the top and it just goes boom right inside, and I have no clue how many balls I've used up, or how many balls I've finished, I should say. Now, I like at the end of the year for it to be a surprise, so this box works out really good for me. Now, when I go ahead and open the box, I like to lay all the ball bands out. I like to sort them, whatever kinds they were, and I record it on my blog. So if you want to know like all the details of like how many balls I finished of each different kind, you have to go to my blog for that because I'm not going to bore you with that here. Not everybody likes the numbers. I personally do like the numbers, and if you made a video and you told me go over to your blog and check it out, I'm going to go check it out because I'm curious. I like numbers. Maybe that's why I like crochet. I don't know. But this year I finished off 60 balls of yarn, which I am super disappointed with that number. Like, it is bothered me for a couple days ever since I like actually dove in and counted them all. The idea I only finished 60 makes me a little crazy because I've been wanting to hit 100 like since I started collecting my ball bands, and I've yet to hit 100. And like, it's really bothered me. It's like this year I think was, one of the lowest numbers of ball bands, lowest number of balls that I finished. And I've really been thinking about it. Like, why is that? And I think I kind of know the root of why it is. I think it's because I don't like my crochet hooks. Like, let me just go a little bit into the journey. I'm not going to go like super long, but let me just explain a little bit. Now, when I started learning, looking for the hook, sorry. When I started learning how to crochet, like I was using like these, like your very basic metal boy hooks, because like, frankly, I was a little bit of a cheapskate. Going into it, I kind of thought I wouldn't stick with it. Because like I tried to learn how to knit, I tried all sorts of other crafts, I tried to learn to sew, all these other things, and I never stuck with anything. So I wasn't going to spend a whole bunch of money on crochet. Even though I thought crochet looked really cool and I really wanted to learn, I wasn't going to spend a bunch of money on it. So, I mean, to the point, like I'm pretty sure it was Walmart at the time, and I bought like the cheapest set of like these kind of metal hooks, the boy hooks, and like, I didn't even buy yarn. Like, I went to my grandma's house because she knitted, and I was like, hey, can I have some yarn? like, I didn't even buy my first ball of yarn that I crocheted with, which that's how, like, cheap and little I was investing, money-wise into it. Now, obviously, I fell in love with crochet, and, as time has progressed, I've invested in all the things. I've got a yarn winder. I've got a Swift. I've got all the things. But when I first started off, I was just looking for something to figure, just the tools I need, like most basic to get it done for cheap. So those served me well. I mean, that is what I used for the first few years of, knowing how to crochet. That's all I used. And I mean, from time to time, I'd have to buy something like this one, for instance. This like end hook was one of the first ones like I bought outside of the set I got because it didn't have an end hook, Well, as time went on, I was getting more hand pain and fatigue, and everybody was saying, well, how bad the metal ones are on your hands. So then I was like, well, what do I invest in next? For me at the time, because I was still kind of a baby crocheter, everybody was talking about, well, there's only two kinds of crochet hooks. You either like Susan Bates or you like boy hooks. If you like boy, you like a tapered. If you like Susan Bates, you like an inline. And like the world of crochet seemed very divided on that at the time. And so I was like, well, I have to get something that's like a boy hook. And like, I'm still a baby crocheter. I didn't really know what I was doing. So the next set I got were the boy hooks, but they were the ergonomic ones. And these, you know, these are what I'm currently, like, these are my main set. Now, I have a box that's sitting right here next to me full of crochet hooks. A lot of them are like the boy hooks, or they're like bigger sizes that are like the ones I don't use as much. But these are the ones that, like, if I'm going somewhere, this is the set I'm bringing with me because, you know, this has the basics. Now, I think these have served their purpose. You know, they've served me well. But the problem is I've had them for quite a while. I mean, I've had them, I would say roughly 5 years. Maybe less. I don't know, 3 to 5 years, I would say. I got these at Walmart. Now, I'm not endorsing Walmart by any means, and I'm not a huge Walmart fan anymore, but it's what was in my area, so that's what I used. Now, though, I'm a big Myers fan. They don't have much of a craft section, but Myers is where I spend most of my time when it comes to, like, my main shopping. Or Aldi's, which doesn't have crochet hooks. Anyways, but these are what I ended up getting. Now, problem with these, like, let me just pull one out here. This here, I mean, can you see how that goes? Bloop? Like, this is, this one is bent. I mean, and I'm not going to be able to get it to bend and stay in the right position. Like, no matter what I've done, this one is junk. I don't even know why I still have it. I mean, because it's flexible. That isn't going to do me any good. So that one's, like, unusable. And then, like, also, the numbers were only printed on. So that's what I have to read. Like, that's it. Like, can you even see that? I don't even know if you could see it on camera. But there's, like, I can see, I know it's something in millimeters, and it's got a 2 and maybe a 5. But, like, it's worn off. Which, I mean, that's going to happen. Also, though, here's the next problem. So now, like, they spin. Like, I should not be able to just twist the rubber like that. And, I mean, can you see how, bloop, twisting? Like, and so when you're working along, like, the hook will turn a different direction than the rubber part. And then you have to stop, and you have to, like, slide the rubber back up, get it in the right spot so you have the right orientation. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. So I'm at the point where I'm like, it is time. This is my craft. This is what I enjoy. I deserve to have a good set of hooks. Now, do I want to spend $1 million on a good set of hooks? No. But I don't want cheapos either. So, like, let me just kind of spell out a little bit, throw it out there what I'm looking for. Maybe you have some suggestions. Now, I don't want them to be plastic. I'm not crazy. Like, I know a lot of people like the Prim hooks and stuff, and they're plastic, and they're great for them. I don't want that. I want them to either be wood or metal. I want them to be sturdy. I want them to be a good length, because if they're too short, like as I'm crocheting, then I'll have the end and it will rub right in here and it tears up my hand. I end up with like a blister or something. Now, let me say this. I got these Tunisian hooks. These are bamboo. They're the clover ones. These I love. And I'm at the point where I'm like, if I don't find some good crochet hooks soon, these are going to become my main set. And I'm just going to use these for regular crochet. I mean, obviously I could do that, but these are, I mean, these have a lot of extra parts, and I'm like kind of paranoid about like taking them somewhere and then like losing one of like the stoppers or like one of the cords. I really like these. And so, I mean, that would be, if I found something like that, I kind of feel like that'd be perfect. The other thing, I was kind of looking at the Clover Morris. Now, let me do say that I honestly don't care if they're a Susan Bates or if they're like a Susan Bates, like an inline, or if they're like a boy and they're tapered, or if they're a hybrid. I don't particularly care either way. I used to be like a firm believer that just because I'd heard so many people say it and I was influenced by it because I was a new crocheter, that if, you like boy, you have to, you got to stick with the taper. You're not going to like the Susan Bates because they're an inline. I honestly, like, throughout the years, like, I've had both. And because, like, I do have some, hooks that are like this one is a Susan Bates. And, this one is this is a Clover. I think it's some kind of Clover. But I mean, they have obviously very different heads. But to me, I just need a couple minutes to get used to whichever one I'm using. I'm more used to using, like the tapered, but I'm fine with an inline. So that's not a deal breaker for me. But what I do need is them to be, like I said, sturdy and long enough. And I don't want to, them to be crazy expensive. I definitely willing to pay for quality, but I'm not going to pay, like a ton of money for something like this that I know that's not good. So if you have any recommendations on hooks, I would love to hear from you. And, like, tell me what kind of hooks you like or what you would recommend. Tell me why you like them. Tell me the pros and cons. Give me all the details because I really could use your help. And right now I'm like just under a week out for my birthday. So like, I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe it'll be a little birthday present to myself. Anyways, though, thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all the way to the end. And I will see you soon. Until next time, though, take care.